job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Liberty's offense going to get the chance to start this game off. They got an incredibly efficient performance from this guy last time out. Now, Jesse, it's about making that a consistent thing.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing watching that tape back from his last game was the ball never touched the ground, David. It was amazing. And it wasn't that he was so accurate throwing the ball deep down the field. It's just that the ball was always going to the open guy. He did a really good job checking it down, taking the profit when it wasn't open downfield. That kept the offense on a schedule. That's really important for this offense today.
And when you're watching it as a defensive player and coming to this football game, man, you know this is going to be a challenge. I better get pressure on this guy. If I let him feel comfortable, you'll see another day like last week. I mean, that dude was accurate. Almost every ball was caught. They were in rhythm. They're going to have to find some creative ways to get him off his spots and make him feel uncomfortable.
Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. Across the 35, out of bounds at the 36, and a really good pickup as they're starting to move. And the Flames will snap it on 1st and 10. Leaves it with the running back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. For just a minute, let's take a look at Liberty. They've climbed into the top 15, reached a little bit of a checkpoint, haven't they? Playoff is 12 teams. But it's right about this range that people start tuning in to see what you can do, to see if you're the real deal. Isn't that right, David?
Yeah, and cheering against you, right? Like a lot of times because their teams are doing well or competing with you. But let's see if the squad can build on the momentum. Starting to get some momentum, some love. Now, Jesse, how do they handle that?
I'm excited to see how this team is going to finish, too, because we know they've got talent. They've got guys that can take the game over. The question I have now moving forward, can they do it on the biggest stages? And today, it's about as big as it gets.
They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Out of the gun. The running back has it. At the 35, he's open. Turning it on. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Flames.
And this defense really wanted to come out and set the tone and be physical, but the offense did that. They took control. They owned the line of scrimmage. They create the big explosive run on the first drive to really set the tone in this football game.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. So it's an 80-yard drive, and they finish it off with an electrifying 45-yard run to the house. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. So FIU's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. Start this drive firing. Finds the tight end. All right, guys, let's talk about Florida International. They were really excited about the verbal commitment from a 3-star quarterback. They really need to get good talent like that, guys who can develop and potentially become stars.
Well, this is a program that's not used to having this talented of a quarterback coming out of high school. Oftentimes, this program is have to develop guys so that they're ready by their junior or senior year to have success. This guy changes that dynamic a little bit, though, and because of it, you can see fans are...
He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to go up top on first down. Fires to the tight end. Now the connection takes it to the 11. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
Might be calling a hot route. They'll go to the air on second and short. Finds his big tight end. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be first and goal from there. They flexed out that tight end a little bit, and you know the tight end's always...
Always open, quarterback's best friend, and this guy's a problem, Reese. He's a matchup problem because he's too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. He's showing you his athleticism there.
Beck's going for the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Liberty.
Well, I think the coaching staff and fans knew that this guy was going to play a big role in this offense this year, but I don't know if anyone expected him to have this kind of season statistically, guys. That's his 20th rushing touchdown on the season.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Excellent job by the kick coverage team. A pretty minimal gain on that return. Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Defensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
I just love quarterbacks that aren't greedy and that aren't always trying to throw the home run ball, right? Second down, you're in your own end of the field. The guy you want to throw to is not open. Just find the back. He'll go do something positive with it. This guy is a weapon, and you got to find him in the passing.
FIU pushing tempo. He'll pull it on the read. Fights off a defender. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down. The Panthers are marching down the field.
Well, the defense did a pretty good job that time on the option play of having someone dedicating themselves.
Lofts one high indeed. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
I know that one falls incomplete, but I love the idea of finding ways to get this running back the ball, right? You can hand it off to him. He's got really good hands. Already has a few catches in this game. I think you keep trying to leak him out of the backfield and let him take advantage of this defense throwing the ball.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
He'll get rid of it. It's caught downfield. He's He's got first down yardage as they move it to the 44.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Off the play fake on first down. Under fire. Flips it out to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They've got a solid drive working, but now looking at 2nd and 11.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Trying to set up the screen. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a first at the 29. Wants to throw on first down. Unloads to the wideout. Got a man in the middle. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7. That is the final play of the quarter, and guys, Liberty has the lead here. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the 2nd period and they try to find a way to answer. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. They'll try to get it in with the run. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. FIU pushing tempo. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. After a drive this long, a field goal would be a punch in the gut. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Touchdown, Florida International. Fit it in the window for the score.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, rivalry game in the SEC. Of course, that's almost redundant in that league. But check this out. Ole Miss came through with a lunch pail, hard hat performance, and the end result is an eye-opening road victory. And I guess it's not so much that they won, it's more how they won, and the fact this wasn't ever really in question. Going to be very interesting to see what the fallout from this one is, because as we know...
There he goes! Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. He's up to 86 yards on the ground, and he's been terrific all season, ranking in the top 10 in rushing. They'll leave it with him. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. And there was lots of space as he gets it to the 39-yard line. What perfect execution on that big run. Everything perfectly blocked, and this guy doesn't need a lot of room.
I love how this offensive line communicates and works up front. You see guys win their one-on-one battles. There's double teams happening. Guys are getting into the 2nd level and creating big lanes for this running back.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
On the option. The give to the back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. The Flames come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. On the RPO, complete. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop. They were banking on the yards after the catch, but that went into the negative column.
And I'm banking on the ball coming out quick. When I'm a defense and understanding third and short, understand they're going to throw the ball.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Flying down the right side. Inside the touchdown, FIU. The defense putting points on the board.
Man, that could not have gone any worse. You're thinking fourth down, go for it. Well, even if you don't get it, you turn the ball back to their offense. Not that. You throw a pick, and they turn it back all the way for a touchdown and get points. That is a disaster for this offense.
And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Liberty takes over the Flames, sending the offense back onto the field. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? It happens. You've got to be able to...
It's a running room. The 30. The 20. Touchdown, Flames. He got a step and just dusted the field. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
It's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. That drive not too taxing on the playbook. One play, put it in the end zone just like that. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
And he's brought down after a nice game. FIU pushing tempo.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another.
Oh, he's got some space. And he's brought down after a nice game. Let's go. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down?
Quarterbacks love receivers that can do damage once they have the football in his hands. No doubt there. Easy slant, completion, and then let your receiver go make hay once he has the ball.
He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it. They're short of the first down. Trying play action. Under fire. Didn't have much of a choice there but to get rid of it. Couldn't find his man last time. That leaves him with a 3rd and 6. From the gun, wants to pass. Slips a tackle. He's got it and still on his feet. Touchdown, Panthers. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Extra point here will tie the game. All tied up after that one. Possible shootout coming.
And the offense does its job, and now the pressure switches back to the other offense. Points at a premium.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. He's out of bounds at the 24, probably looking for a little more on that return, but that's where his offense will go to work. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Throws to the wideout. And it's incomplete, deflected, knocked away by the D.
I think when you go through these progressions as a quarterback, you want to find the right guy to throw to. Obviously, I didn't think he was the right guy. I didn't think he was really that open. And listen, he sailed and he overthrew it, but I might have surveyed the middle of the field a little bit better there.
Back to pass. Right on the money. sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. And the Flames lining up, just needing a few tough inches on third down. He'll do it himself. What a nice job by the defense stringing that out and forcing him out of bounds. He got nothing. And the offense will stay on the field. Do you think they're just going to try to make the defense jump? They'll immediately call timeout. The Flames will punt this one away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. The Florida International offense is back on the field. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Gets it to the back. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. On the nasty move, and now he's got room. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening. And the Panthers just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. Off-play action on first down. Fires to the big fella. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 29.
Well, it's a nice job, too, the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
Grab near the sticks. Sticks best. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9.
And that's why they got to keep running the football, man, because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You've got to get this tight end over the middle of the field vertically and give him an opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
Trying to barrel in. Touchdown, Panthers! A great catch.
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now going into the half with the lead, with the momentum?
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
Here's the return from inside his 10. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Liberty takes over the Flames, sending the offense back onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
And the Flames with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Power football with the run. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. They're at their fastest tempo trying to get off this third down play. Quickly out on the screen to the wide receiver. And good blocking in space out there to give him enough room to pick up the first down. looking to throw on first down. Gets it out fast. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
And a great play design here in this type of situation. Obviously, trailing, you're trying to put something up on the scoreboard. Just using the sideline, using the boundary, getting the ball out of bounds and stopping the clock.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. The RPO, fire complete to the left. Breaks into the open. And he's brought down after a nice gain. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. The Flames have it with a 1st and 10. Quick pass on the jet motion. He's out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A memorable first half of football so far today in Lynchburg. And this has just been a passing clinic, really, by both offenses. They've effectively stretched these defenses, forcing the secondaries to cover every blade of grass, and they've still racked up big plays. Man or zone, pick your poison, or lay some blame at the feet of those pass rushers who can't do anything against the maulers on that offensive line. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas at the Bill Arthur L. Williams Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to get things cranked back up here. And the Flames will kick it away to start the second half. Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. Going to the run to start this second half. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle. Lost the fire on second down. Going to try to get it himself. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
I think going into halftime trailing, this defense knew that they were going to have to start making plays here in the second half. Early in the third quarter here on this drive, they get a sack. That is really good news for this defense.
Throwing right. And they can't make the play on third down.
And that's just what this defense needed. They needed to get a stop here in the third quarter. They've given them a lot of plays, a lot of points, a lot of yards. Needed to get a stop and try to get this ball back to their offense.
Catches it at the 30. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. Last drive ended after a long missed field goal, and they have it back ready to go to work. The give to the tailback. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
When you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those five guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those five offensive linemen.
Catch on third down. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
They'll run the option. Running back searching for a hole. Open space at the 25. He'll get it all the way to the 13-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. The Flames, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. He finds a dead spot in the middle. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
Man, that quarterback knew that was a tiny window to throw into, and he just showed off his cannon of an arm.
He'll keep it himself. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
And I love that decision by this quarterback. No monkeying around, man. Get to the spot, get the first down, lower your shoulder. I don't need a big play. I just want another set of downs. Nice job running the...
Looking for the end zone. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Liberty. You want to know how to reach this guy, just send his mail to the end zone. That's where he lives.
He definitely is today. And I think the defense has to be getting a little sick and tired of the same guy beating them time and time again.
And the extra point splits the upright. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. Their lead is gone, and they'll try to grab it back on this drive. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. To the air on first down. Fires to the tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Well, this defense knew coming into this one, this offense would take shots. They know they have targets that can fly and push down the field vertically. Nice job in coverage there.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to go for it. Quickly complete. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. FIU will line up to punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. And that should be no surprise. He's been among the nation's elite all season. The offense will put it in play from the 47 on 1st and 10. They'll give it to him again. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now they've moved it just inside the 40. 1st and 10 from the 39. They'll move the wide receiver. From the gun, they'll try the middle. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. tackle at the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards and enough for the first down. And the Flames come to the line with a new set of downs. And he runs into a wall. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. This has been a tight one, third quarter, all tied up. It's now 2nd and 10. Quarterback making adjustments. Just when they're looking one, now up top. Using his legs to buy some time. There, into the end zone. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line.
That time the defense was in man coverage. There was nobody watching the quarterback, so when he took off to scramble, nobody home to make a tackle right away, and he shows you the athleticism, he shows you the speed, and also shows you...
Touchdown, Flames! And that one will give him the lead.
Have yourself a day, young fella. You know why they handed him the ball on? Because he did that. That's his 4th trip to pay dirt. This dude has shown you a little bit of everything. What a great back. And 4 touchdowns on the day.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. James Madison needs to pick up the pace, but this puppy is far from over. And with this crowd there in Harrisonburg behind them, I'm kind of banking on a comeback. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by 1 to Old Dominion. Just another week of football in the Sun Belt, guys, where we've come to expect the unexpected.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Snaps it quickly on the left. And they pick up just a few on that completion. FIU pushing tempo. Now the play fake. Swings it out to the flat. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Trying to make magic with his feet. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Fires to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They bring him down. He's got a first down, but that might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. They go back to work in the final period of this one. That's the end of the period. Liberty is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. FIU set up with another first down. Looking downfield on first down. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Florida International. Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board. If this dude were a kitchen knife, he would be slicing tomatoes so thin your in-laws would never come back to your house.
Well, that'd be a good thing. I don't know if I want my in-laws to come back anyways, but he's been on fire. He's been absolutely torching this defense. They've had absolutely no answers for him.
And he'll bring it out of the end zone. Knocked down right at the 25, and I guess he breaks even, bringing it out of the end zone. Liberty takes over the Flames, sending the offense back onto the field. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, Dave.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than you, and and we're pounding the football right at you, Paul.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
Really good job by this defense, understanding responsibility football, playing the first option, playing the second option. There was absolutely nowhere to go. Nice job being dialed in exactly where the ball was going and how to get him to the ground.
He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Really good job by the defense, seeing it and going and getting it. Nice job understanding the touch pass. It could happen. Those guys go in motion, man. I got to understand, safety's got to see that, start flying down, getting ready to play that. Nice job by the defense being ready for that play.
Wants to adjust the pattern. They'll send the back in motion. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster.
After that incompletion here, tied in the 4th quarter, you've got a decision to make with this field position. Do you want to stay aggressive and try and go win this game now and bleed a little bit more clock? Or do you trust your defense if you punt this away to get you the ball back so you can still win?
The Florida International offense is back on the field. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? You be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense.
Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
Well, that's not necessarily a throw that's going to show up on the stat sheet, but I love the decision. We're in the second half. We've got a tie game. You cannot turn the football over. And if nothing's open downfield, just do the smart thing and throw the ball away. I love that decision by the QB.
He's going to fire deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. FIU will line up the punt. Probably hope for a little bit more on that one. It'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. Liberty takes over, and the Flames offense ready to go to work. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Oh, he's got some space. Brought down at the 45 after a 15-yard pickup.
I love the play called running the football here in the 4th quarter because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal on offense. You are not panicking. This isn't throw every single down, all of a sudden 2-minute air raid type stuff. You can run the ball. You can do all of your stuff, personnel, shifting, motioning. You just got to be very, very careful and absolutely cannot turn it over.
He's out of bounds, and they'll say he got it to the 45. Great job by this quarterback to beat the blitz, and then the running back made it to the sticks.
Yeah, awesome job. You see a guy, extra guy coming. The running back is not accounted for. Nice job getting it to him and letting him get the first down. Great job, great read.
He leaves it with his back. Gets it past the marker. They'll get him stopped at the 34. He's got 10 yards on that one and a first down.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
On the option. Leaves it with the back. Just steamrolling the defense. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11.
This quarterback is making outstanding decisions so far in this game, and you've already seen it throwing the football. The guy already has over 200 yards passing, but he's doing it in the running game as well. Really good decision that time. Seeing nobody accounting for the pitch guy, you flip it out, you pick up a nice play offensively. Really good football IQ from the quarterback position.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The clock stops as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the game. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity.
Cricket.
Quarterback on the keeper. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
Motion from the wide receiver. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. Touchdown, Liberty! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the fourth.
Who can you count on those big moments? Who can make those big plays? Who do you trust? And they trust the receiver to run a go and to run right by the DB. He makes the play, breaks the tie, takes the lead for this football team.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The extra point is good, and now in the fourth, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner will be brought down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. This drive will open from the 15. Looking to throw on first down. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. Brought down at the 25 after he picked up 10. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock. They'll snap it from the 25 here on first down. Wants to go up top on first down. That's caught. It's Robinson. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve every minute possible.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down.
Block that field goal.
Wants to throw on first down. He wants a big play here late and is knocked away and incomplete. The defensive back staying in phase and batting it away.
And so far today, man, both offenses have been so good. Like putting up points, being productive. Now in a big moment, man, the defense has a chance to step up. Nice job batting the football down. A couple more opportunities to make some plays and maybe win this football game.
He's run out of bounds and didn't gain an inch on the play. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away. They've got to push the ball down the field. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
And with that incompletion, man, it's go time. Like this offense, there's no more holding back. They've got to have this play. Trailing, they need a big play. Which one on that play call sheet is your go-to play in this moment when I gotta have it?
Trailing by a touchdown, getting late in the fourth, and this is a huge, perhaps a catches it past the sticks and still on his feet. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. Most important part of a clutch drive, piece together some first downs, get in position, and here they are on 1st and 10. A shot toward the end zone. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's second down. Well, the defense didn't get caught napping there. In this situation, you know they have to stay alert for the deep ball.
So what defense am I going to call? I'm going to keep some DBs back deep. I'm going to keep my safety a little bit deeper, understanding they're down. They're going to have to attack down the field. I'm going to stick to my passing sets, my nickels, my dimes.
Just couldn't find a hole in this defense. They were ready for him and forced him out of bounds and no gain on the play. It'll be third and long. try to pop the draw. Can't get him to the ground. He'll be brought down at the 12-yard line. Not enough for the first down, and let's see if they try to convert on fourth. He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. Let's it go to the end zone. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
And this offense does not come up big. Man, you needed that first down. And listen, the communication with this offense and the execution has left a little bit to be desired, especially in a big moment right here when you had to have a score and you had to have the fourth down conversion.
You want to talk about building confidence, coming through with clutch plays, making the winning plays at the right time can really set the course for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Reese, maturity and experience matters, and this team has guys that have played a lot of snaps, they've seen a lot of looks, and they've lost close games like this in the past. That wasn't the case today, David. Too many guys out there making big-time plays.
And I think belief is what you build. That confidence, you know you're going to win. You don't think you're going to win. You know you're going to make that play in the big moment that continues to build on week-to-week success. And you look up and you're like, hey, we strung a couple wins together.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.